time now to configure different virtual machine that include different operating system, and by the end of this section we should have a lab up and running. Now to do that, we're going to follow the following steps. First, we're going to download Windows ISO images from Microsoft website, and we're going to download different kind of Windows. So we're going to have Windows Server and Windows Client, and for Windows Client we're going to have Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, while for Windows Server we're going to have Windows 2016, 2012, 2008, and so on. And you can add even more if you get the idea. Then we're going to configure Windows virtual machine. So after downloading the images, we're going to configure the virtual machine. And then the third step will be downloading Kali Linux. And Kali Linux will be our main ethical hacking tools. So it's very important to get familiar with Kali Linux. And as I already mentioned, that we're going to have a full section related to how to get familiar with Kali Linux, even if you don't have that much of background. Then we're going to configure, we're going to also download some vulnerable machine, because lab will not only have ethical hacking virtual machine or machines that include ethical hacking tools, but also we need to have some vulnerable machine where we can practice and test different kind of attack. So for that, we're going to install two different Linux virtual machines. First one is OWASP, broken web application, and the second one is called Metasploitable, which is a virtual machine that has Linux on it, and it will be used as a target for testing different attacks. So you're going to have two different Linux, OWASP broken web application and Metasploitable as vulnerable machine. And then we're going to configure all Linux virtual machine, Kali Linux and OWASP and Metasploitable. So by doing that, by the end of this section, we should have a lab up and running. So let's start with the first step, which is downloading Windows ISO images. From where we are getting Windows ISO images? We are getting them from Microsoft website. Microsoft is usually offering all their new operating system and all their new product for free for 180 days, where you can use them. So you don't need to do anything illegal or get any cracked software or something like that. You can download them from the website. The only problem with Microsoft is that the old operating system, you will not be able to find them. So if you don't have a copy from Windows 7 or Windows 2008, because those will not be on Microsoft website, I will share the link with you from where you can download those trial version. So we're gonna do one or two Windows, download one or two Windows operating system, and you can do the same for the remaining operating system. But before we start, I just want to suggest to you a very important setting that will help you to prevent any kind of problem. So going to my computer here, you'll notice that I have an external hard drive, which I suggest that you should do the same, because configuring the virtual machine and having different virtual machine will consume all the hard drive size. So if you kept the default setting when it comes to installing the new virtual machine and configuring them, which will be saved on the C drive, eventually you're going to start having problem, because the C will get full, like in my cases, and you're going to start getting error and things will not be functional well. So when it comes to virtual machine, Windows or Linux or anyone, I suggest that you should have an external hard drive, same way I did. And in my hard drive, I have a folder here where I kept all my virtual machine and images. So I have here all the virtual machine, and right now actually I'm going to show you how to configure all the virtual machines the same way I did. And I have another folder for all the ISO images. Actually, those are the course ISO images. So by doing that, you're going to have two different advantages. First, you will not consume your local hard drive storage. Second, you will be able to move the lab from this computer to any other computer easily. So if you need to set up the lab on another laptop or another computer, all you have to do is just connect this hard drive to the other lab. You don't have to copy and paste or anything like that. So this will be the right setting to do, and I will suggest that you do the same. getting back to our point, which is downloading Windows iOS. So let's start, for instance, with Windows Server 2012. Download Windows Server 2012 trial. And as you can see, from Microsoft websites, they are giving you an evaluation copy for 180 days, 6 months, which is more than enough to cover this course and clear the exam and everything. And what I'm going to do right here will be the same exactly that you need to do for different Windows iOS. So here, as you can see, you click on the link and you go to Windows Server 2012 page, and then you have an option for download. You're going to need to register. So you need to register to complete. So once you put your information here, whatever information it is, and you click on continue, it will start the download process. Now, before starting, he will ask you, would you like to have it as an ISO image or a virtual hard drive? Now, virtual hard drive will be useful in case you have Microsoft Hyper-V or Virtual PC, which is Microsoft virtualization product. But in this case, because you are using a different product, you should download the ISO image. So you click on ISO and continue, and then you select the language. So I'm going to select English, and you click on download, and you're going to start downloading the image. Now, I will not continue downloading because I already have the image, and it's not a small one, it's 3.4. So I'm assuming that you download it and you copy the ISO image to the folder that we spoke about, where you're going to keep all your ISO images. This will be the first step. We can do the same when it comes to different Windows operating systems. So if you can check 2016, here you go, you will find 2016 evaluation copy. And also you can go to register to download, and you can write your information and you'll be able to download it. If you need Windows 8, Windows 10, so I finished with the server, for instance, and I want Windows 10 trial. Fine. You will find Windows 10, and then you can download it the exact same way. So this is how to download the different Windows operating system. Now the point here is that some of the old operating system, like Windows 7, you will not be able to find it. Or Windows XP, for instance, or maybe Windows Server 2008 or 3. So the old operating system will not be on Microsoft's website. I have the trial version of them. So I will share the link from where you can download those old. It's not really old, but because Microsoft removed them from their platform, we consider them old. But you're going to need to have them in your environment, in your virtual lab, to be able to practice different attacks on different operating systems. So for that, attached with this lecture, you're going to find links that allow you to download those trial version and use them in your virtual environment. So this is how to download your Windows ISO images. And after downloading, you should find them, or you should keep them in a folder. Like my case here, I kept most of those Windows and Kali and everything in ISO image, because next step, I'm going to show you how to configure them in Microsoft Windows in virtual VMware player, so they can work as a virtual machine. So let's see how to do that.